Hello, everybody. Hello, Mary. Woo-hoo.
Hello, hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you. I had to pay you a lot of money. You're so busy.
Millionaires are only millionaires when they charge people millions. So,
You're right. You're right. I am less than a millionaire now, but it's all good. It's all good. It all flows back and forth.
but we'll share whenever we come into some sort of union with our future events. Danny
Oh,
has decided pre-show that he's going to come join my team at some point, and we're going to do an event together.
yeah. Yes. That
Yeah,
can it does it have to be on the other side of the planet?
I'll come to you.
Oh, all right. Good. Or in the
Millionaires know how to make deals.
or in the middle, Arizona, New Mexico.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys heard it here first.
Heard it here first. It hasn't even been planned.
He didn't even know that he agreed to this.
There's so much I don't know that I agree to. So much, but that's not the point of the show. Anyway, Mary, you talk to us. Talk to us about your channel real quick. Talk to us about your event that you got coming up.
Well, I am the teacher at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. And basically, I just teach about anything that downloads in. We're teaching spirituality, how to connect to our authentic selves, the God spark within. And with the retreat that's coming up in June, this is going to be our first retreat in June of 2025. It's June 19th through the 22nd. So that's a Thursday afternoon through a Sunday afternoon, a 3-day event. And this is basically going to be about that, coming into your authentic self.
Mhm.
We build so much on, like we pack so much on top of ourselves and cushion ourselves for safety, such as belief systems and emotions and things like that, who we think we are, essentially, who we are actually not. But we think that we are these things and these beliefs because that's what we've been taught makes us safe and makes us accepted and makes us loved. So coming into an event like this, an experiential event at that, we're not just going to sit around and talk at people. You are actually going to be doing ritual after ritual after ritual after ritual, the types of things that you would normally only do one ritual in a any given amount of time and then let yourself integrate. We're going to be doing many different rituals throughout the entire weekend to shed all of that off, to shed your ego, and by ego, I mean who you think you are, how you define yourself, your identity. We want to shed your shadows. We want to shed your belief systems. We just want to come to the core of what's inside. And I actually had a client named Mary. If you're watching, Mary, hello. She um she said, "I think you might need to change your wording on your website because you said you're going to crack people open, but maybe you should tell them you're going to put them back together again before they leave." And that was besides the point. I want to crack people open because that light, that authenticity, that true spirit self is what's inside the shell.
Yeah.
We don't need the shell anymore. We just want to be exactly who we are, which is one with the universe, that God spark. The God spark is what we're looking for. So, this particular retreat, we're going to be doing cacao ceremony, fire walking, sweat lodge. Uh, we're going to be doing some healing work with journey work and shadow work. And I hesitate to throw out death simulation because people are like, what's a death simulation? But that's through journey work. It's basically just ego death and letting that inner soul shine through. Uh, Drum circle, tribal paints, and then we're also going to I'm going to trance channel after the drum circle so that we can receive um, the wisdom and the blessings of the spirit of the mountain. The
What mountain?
We're going to be on Little Scaly Mountain, which is in
Little
Highland.
little
Mhm.
scaly.
Little Scaly Mountain is in Highlands, North Carolina. And I received a visitation from the spirit of the mountain before I even decided on this location. And
Cool.
so did the vice president of our company. She ended up receiving a visitation as well. And then she was the one who went there to look around and see if it was an appropriate place. And she's like, the spirit of the mountain is so strong. We have to do it here. And I was like, okay, yes, let's do it.
Those spirits of the mountain, they get pretty strong.
They are. It's pretty high energy, very
Yeah.
high energy. You know, you think about Pachamama or Mother Earth, and you think, well, this is a very strong energy, but the Earth has so much negative ion to it that grounds you and pulls you in and kind of
Oh
holds
yeah.
you, encompasses you, and buries you. Whereas the mountain is the polar opposite of that. Those high vibrations that pull you up and unground you, shake you up a little bit.
At the same time, at the same exact, yeah. So it's so cool. Awesome. Awesome. So, and how do they go to your website if they want more information?
Yeah, you can go to earthandstarwellness.com and go to our events page, and the tickets are for sale there. They're already posted. We have, I think I said last week we had 10 spaces left, but I recounted and we have 15 spaces left. So we have 15 tickets left as of this moment, right now, today. So you guys go ahead and get those. That include room and board, food, and all the events.
Cool. And that's on the East Coast. Little
Yes, Highlands,
Scaly
North
Mountain.
Carolina.
Yeah, I love that name. Little Scaly. It's probably going to be a big scale, a big climb for some, but and it's interesting when you said being cracked open. I just got this image of this egg with this bright light just cracking open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's really, I don't think it's going to be like physically difficult because we are going to have shuttles bringing people up and down the mountain when we need to do different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So it's not like people will have to hike up and down the mountain or anything like that. But you will be required to sweat, to get hot, to walk on hot coals, to overcome your fears.
That's not going to be difficult. No. No.
It's all about overcoming fear, right? Because fear is the opposite of love. So overcoming the fear.
All right. Well, I know I'll get in trouble with this statement. There's other ways to get over that fear. You don't have to walk on fires and hot coals. You can like cook s'mores on hot coals.
What's
And
a s'more, first off? Are you German? You mean
no,
a s'more?
I don't even like them, but it sounds bad. I mean, they're pretty gross to me, but I think I'd rather eat a bunch of those than walk on coals.
I understand. I understand. It is about pushing yourself physically because the physical aspects, you know, I feel like a lot of the people in the healing community are
Of
used
course.
to pushing themselves emotionally.
Yeah.
What they're not used to is pushing themselves physically.
Yeah.
And this day and age, I think we kind of forget about the physical body sometimes when we're in the healing realm. But at the drum circle, you are required to make noise. That is so important to use your
Yeah.
voice,
Yeah.
use your throat. So
Yeah.
howling, dancing, drumming, we're gonna be making some noise.
Yeah.
Getting
Awesome.
it all out there.
Awesome. Cool.
No more
So,
shell.
what's that?
No more shell.
No more shell. Open up. Yeah. So that's awesome. That is awesome. And the event that I am going to be involved with, just following it the next weekend, is on the West Coast, and that's on Mount Shasta. And Kim Copeland is setting that up. She has the Eventbrite page, and I will put the link down below. But I'll be talking about that lots more, so I won't go into it too much. But it's on another mountain. It's not a little scaly mountain. It's a great big old mountain.
Great big old mountain.
Big old mountain. It may have some Lemurians in it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's jump in. And normally on Mondays, I like to throw an energy card, just an energy card for the week. And obviously this is not a political show, so there's a lot of noise out there in our physical 3D world. And it's, to me, I think it's the message that I've been getting. It's super important to stay grounded in the physical. And so the card that I pulled is, and this is from the Star Stream Oracle. It's Gaia needs you. Mother Earth needs you. Act from within your crown and heart. And this is the image that I got. So beautiful. And it got a great big heart, got a great big crown with Mount Shasta up there. Although, to be honest, it could be a little scaly mountain too.
No, surely it's Mount Shasta, that great big mountain.
But and she's got wings. So, and this morning when I was walking and doing my meditation, I got that so loud and clear that it's just not, we think that we're taking, that Gaia is giving us something, but we are also, Gaia needs us to give back to that. And what is that? It's love. It's not, don't take too much. And if you do take, give back more. And that's the end of my preach.
I love that. Every winter solstice, I do a ritual, basically for Gaia, and it's just giving back. You put everything in a prayer bundle that represents your life, that represents your family, your home, everything that you've been through that year, just gratefulness. You allow gratefulness to overcome you, and you put it all in there and just give it to the earth and burn it in ritual. It's just a beautiful pouring out of love. That's super, super important.
Yeah. Cool. Did you get a card?
I did.
Are you going to share it?
Well, mine's an earth card. So I guess technically it would be a pentacles card, but because my deck is earth, it's the page of earth.
Oh.
And interestingly, though, I got the word last night when I was laying down to go to sleep, and Spirit told me this is going to be a pentacle. And I was like, is this like the 8 of Pentacles? And it was like, no, it's a baby pentacle. And I was like, okay, so this is either, page through messenger or something like that. And then this morning when I opened my deck and I took the lid off my deck, that card flew out. It was just waiting.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying.
Same with this. I opened up and I was going to pull the Good Tarot. And I said, just no, get this one. And I swear to God, I didn't shuffle. This just flew out. And I'm like,
exactly. It flew. I didn't even take the deck out of the box. This one just came out with the lid. And so the page of earth, the word that I got last night, regardless of whatever the page of pentacles normally represents, the word I got last night was the word prosperity. And it felt like this was our inspiration to prosper, that as we align ourselves with Gaia, with the earth, and with our inherent authentic self, our core, our light shining from the inside, what we are doing is we are reaching our inspiration to prosper. A lot of people think prospering is all just about money, but prospering is everything that we can be grateful for. It's the teaching, the music, the dancing, the love, the joy, the bliss, all of those things. What's your inspiration to prosper?
What is my inspiration to prosper? You're asking me? It's early. See, it's late in the afternoon for you. It's in the afternoon. I'm still on early morning time. What is my inspiration to prosper? But that's so. There's some different levels to that, because then I have to think of, what do I think of prosperity? What does that mean to me? Because it's because it shifts, and as I get wiser, it shifts. So right now my inspiration I think is getting more in touch with Gaia, with Mother Earth, with the web, the universe, the stars,
Mm-hmm.
because to me, both above and below are, we're in the middle. We get to access them both, and so that's my inspiration, is to be able to access them both clearly and cleanly. Ooh, cleanly. What does that mean?
Hold
Must
up your card one more time.
must be dirty, cleanly.
Maybe it just means innocently. So in your card, I like how there's the heart, the earth, and then the crown for
Yeah,
the heavens, because what you just said is your inspiration to prosper included earth and stars.
yeah,
And here within shamanic breathing, what we do is we pull up the energy of the earth,
yep.
bring it up into our heart, pull down the energy of the stars, bring it into our heart. And then that heart space with all of those things interconnected and mingled is what we breathe out and what we heal
Yeah,
with. So
yeah.
you have just encompassed everything, kind sir, within your heart space. And the card you pulled happens to be your inspiration to prosper.
Of course.
Of course it
Of
is.
course.
Spirit just worked everything out.
So there were some things that we talked about backstage in the beginning of this video that when I first asked you to come on, this is what I wanted to talk about. And then I was thinking about let's shift, let's talk about, and then it comes back to this. And I'm intrigued with rituals and how we're shifting. So for us, as we move into a thinner veil of awareness, so we can see our galactic friends up there. We can sense their energy around us, whether we see them, sense them, feel them, hear them, and maybe we're not quite sure how they're presenting themselves to us. We are becoming more and more aware of things through the veil, past lives, departed loved ones, all that stuff, psychic intuitions. And in the past, there was a lot of really strong rituals that needed to be performed this way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't deviate, perform, and then you repeat them, and then you repeat them. And by the fourth time I was asleep, I was falling asleep. My attention span's that big. And I go back and forth with saying to myself, you don't need that much ritual anymore. And then I hear, and I don't know if this is just past beliefs, no, you do need ritual. It's just, don't shortchange the ritual. You can't throw that out. But it's now different. So I wanted to talk to you about that and have a conversation about what you think is the evolution of our ritual practice. You have any thoughts on that?
Yes. I was taking notes actually while you were talking. I was like, okay, I think this is what I want to say. Well, while you were talking, it kind of reminded me. I have an acquaintance here who is he's from Haiti. So he travels, spends half the year in Haiti and half the year here. So he's a voodoo papa. And his son,
Voodoo what?
papa, they're called papas.
Papa. Oh, I thought you said pop up, and I'm like, what? Okay, papa, got it.
No, PAPA. And his son is in his mid-20s, and he's been training under him as well. Now, when you walk into his shop, there's a lot of things you notice. There's a lot of jumpy energy. There's a lot of loud drumming music, the smells, everything. And he doesn't talk about his healing services or his rituals. Those are all done behind the scenes in the quiet. But we know from certain people who have undergone his healing services that he still uses chickens and chicken blood, essentially. But the
Not
son,
duck blood, right?
what?
Not duck blood.
Specifically chickens.
Okay, good. Whew.
Specifically. But the son, he always really liked my shop. And I was like, "You have your own place, you know, what's going on?" And he's like, "None of that stuff's really necessary anymore. We don't have to perform the rituals that way anymore to reach the same things. He's just stuck in his old ways," is what he said about his dad. And I have a few thoughts on this because they're both right to a certain extent. It is important to still perform ritual because it it honors. It
Yes.
honors the physical self, the
Yes.
body, and the physical realm, and it honors our ancestry. So there's a lot there to be said about teachers, ancestors, just honor and respect in general. It's very, very important. But then we're moving higher and higher as a collective and individuals through dimensional space, which is why we're more able to see our guides and the aliens and all of these things because we are a higher vibration. We are ascending over time. So, whereas we used to perform these rituals in order to see anything, any sort of healing, any sort of spiritual message, now we only really need to perform ritual for honor and when we want to do bigger things, pull heaven down into earth right now. Um, I was telling you backstage that I'm eventually going to be writing a book on this
Mm.
called The Transcendental Medicine Wheel because I downloaded essentially a trinity of medicine wheels. Whereas the first medicine wheel would be what you consider the past, old rituals, how our ancestors used to work the medicine wheel.
Yeah.
And it's very physical. It's very about the body, about the age that you are, your stage of life, things like that, and basically just how to be at peace with any particular phase of life that you're in. But because the collective has ascended, we no longer just live in that dimensional space. Now we're in this middle space, which is less about the physical body and more about the emotional body, more about healing the emotional body, healing the collective. And we're closer to those transcendental spaces where the aliens and the guides and the angels live. So now when we do ritual, what we're doing is we're changing like chess pieces, moving things in those higher realms in order to bring them to earth now.
Mm.
So now when we do ritual, we're honoring the past. And then we're also moving things so that we can perform manifestation, alchemy, teleportation, all of those wonderful things, shape shifting. These are all things that we're bringing into the now that we're capable of doing through being able to reach into the transcendental spaces through ritual.
Yeah. That was a mouthful.
I have so much more to say, but I'm not
I
going to.
know. You're going to have to write it in a book, as you said. That was great. You know, and when I was thinking about this morning, what I got with this and was that that our our rituals do change. And I was thinking, well, am I just being lazy because I don't want to really go back and do all of these rituals? And it's not so much lazy. It's I grew up in the Catholic religion, so I had to stand, kneel, sit, and do all the. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, and And I fell asleep during those rituals too. So I haven't evolved much. Rituals put me to sleep. But there's some things that I find that are really powerful in the repetition. And because my attention span is where it is on this plane of existence, the rituals really help, number one, keep me focused, and in a healing situation, it allows us to really dig in and be committed to the work. So if you have somebody that doesn't want to do the ritual, they may not be that committed to the work or to the healing or to whatever that is. So, but for me, I change a lot of, like you talk about the medicine wheel. I mean, I use that every morning, but I change it a lot. Somebody goes, "Oh, your power animal in the South is this," and I went, "Okay, mine isn't." And is that wrong? No, of course not. It's not wrong. But in traditional ways, maybe they wouldn't allow that. I don't know. But it seems to me that when you talk about the three different levels, you talk about the transcendent. What's the word again?
Transcendental, yeah.
Transcendental wheel. What does that mean exactly?
That is,
well, not exactly, but
not exactly, but that's essentially where we are ascending to within consciousness. Once we're there, we're not really in physical body. So the trinity of these is physical, emotional, spirit. And so the transcendental medicine wheel is what we work through in the spirit realm.
Yeah.
How we
Okay.
feel that into the now.
Yeah. And that was one of my questions that I thought about when I was on my wheel in the morning. So do ETs, do angels, well, let's just stick with ETs. Do they have rituals?
I think, and I actually like that you threw angels in there because I'm an angel medium and trance channel. So I've never let an alien sit in my body, but angels do.
Yeah.
I talk to aliens, but I'm very hands off. Don't touch me kind of thing. So I think that I know that angels do have ritual because you touched on something very important, although I'm not sure if you knew you were saying it when you said
Of course I did. Of course I
it. That changing your ritual is all about growth. So no matter what vibrational level you're at, there's always room for growth. There's always room to be a higher vibratory level. Like you said, if someone starts, they usually start with a certain ritual. And if they can't stick to that ritual, then they're not committed. The honor is not there. The honor to the ancestry, to the people before them, to their teachers. There's an honor that comes with it. There's a discipline that comes with it because you're learning how to let go of the ego self and come into a holier space through ritual. But as you keep doing this and you grow, you find that those rituals no longer advance you. They simply put you to sleep or become tedious. And it's because they no longer challenge your ego.
Yeah.
And therefore, your rituals change and they evolve and they grow because that's what they're working on. They're working on your ego, they're working on your intuition, they're working on your feminine nature.
Yeah.
Because having something pre-laid out is like your masculine nature. But being able to just feel something and flow through it, I know that's hard for you since you're emotionally shut down. But being able to feel and flow through a ritual that's not pre-planned grows that feminine nature and your intuition. And it all leads to growth, higher vibratory levels, new gifts, new guides, transcendence.
Mhm. See, I knew you were going to say all that. That's why I brought it up.
I knew it. You're so smart.
I'm so smart.
You're so smart.
So when you were talking, I was thinking back to my dad, who would get in the car and would drive somewhere, and he'd go, "You want to say the rosary?" And I would be like,
No.
"Oh my God." I couldn't get out because he's doing 40 miles an hour,
Oh.
50 or 60. So I'm stuck in there. And, there's a certain fondness when I go back and I think of that. But there's also another part of it that was really calming, and just the repetition. And it started getting to be like I didn't even know the words I was saying, but it was chanting. It was an and that was kind of cool because the rhythms always stayed the same. And I'm like, oh, this is phenomenal. If I let myself get away from what he wanted me to experience,
Yeah.
and if I got in touch with my feminine side, then and experienced what I wanted to experience with the chanting and the rhythm of that. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I'm a
The
huge fan of chanting. Don't you have a brother is he Buddhist or Zen Buddhist?
oh, he's Buddhist. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know the difference, but yeah, that yeah, and so he's a chaplain. Well, he just retired. He still kind of works, but he was a chaplain in the Catholic hospital system. And he was always, he thought that would be really, make my parents proud that he was a chaplain, and that's like, oh, that's so cool, and my aunt, who was very psychic, she was very old. She'd come over for Thanksgiving, and she would say would do the evening prayer, and she would add on another 10 to 15 minutes of prayer. And we're all rolling our eyes, and she would always tell my younger brother, "You're going to be the priest in the family." Turned out he's a Buddhist priest. But my parents couldn't wrap their heads around it. All the good work that he was doing, they couldn't wrap their heads around it.
And that's where we need to crack open, get outside of our box and our belief systems, and find that interconnectedness in the web of everything.
In the web of everything. Yeah, I got that so strong today that if we want to heal, and it goes back to this card, Gaia needs you. If we want to heal ourselves and our planet, in the sky and the stars, everything's so interconnected. We just need to be more in touch with our surroundings, and not so much the buildings, what we build, unless they're anyway, that's where I'm headed. Grounding.
Yeah, and that's why I asked about the Zen Buddhism thing, because even though you were doing a Catholic prayer or the rosary, it becomes a chant. And those chanting, those noises, those sounds raise our vibration, flush out our energy. And that's another mode of Zen Buddhism, is to focus on your physical surroundings and what's actually there in order to ground and connect in. So
It's
maybe you're
not.
Buddhist too.
Pardon me?
Maybe you're Buddhist too.
I could be a lot of things.
We won't name them all right now, though. It's inappropriate.
Thank you. Because that would have gone down the rabbit hole in the wrong way. Well, I think I kind of want to leave it there. There was a lot that was said, a lot that was that needs to be revisited, and I don't want to like throw out a lot of different topics, because I think that is so important on how we evolve in this ascension, whatever that is, you know, for people. Everybody has a different point of view on that, and that's fine, but we are evolving, we are growing. So those rituals will grow and change, and we'll see where we end up.
What do you think an alien ritual is, though?
Oh, you're going back to alien rituals. You know, I'm going, and I was thinking to myself when I was going to ask you this, I was going, this is probably a Gail question. An alien ritual. You know, for me, I think it's, you know, when I just dropped into it a little bit here, and I think it's more of the same thing that we do when we ground ourselves on the beach or in the woods, in nature. It's more of that similar recharging, that type of recharging, so that I'd have to focus more on that and really kind of get deep with it to see what that is.
I think so too, because they are higher dimensional, but like I said, there's always room for more. Like I know that angels have rituals out of honor and something around purity. They keep their vibrations pure in what they are, because each angel has like a very specific vibe that they're bringing. With aliens, it's a little different because they're beings like us, but just higher vibrational. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like Gail would say that they don't do rituals.
No, let's speak for Gail now. And we're talking about Dr. Gail. She's going to be on, she comes on your show and vice versa a lot. She's going to be on my show next month, or this month, so I will ask her about that. But anyway, what does Dr. Gail think?
I don't know what she thinks, but for some reason I feel like just because I've heard the aliens picking on her for her ritual,
yes,
maybe they haven't discussed the rituals they do, but for some reason when I tap into it, I feel like it has a lot to do with us. I feel like they're already high vibrational, but the work that they do with us on this plane gives them an emotional and a heart space connection that I think they normally have where they are, because they're nowhere near as emotional as we are as humans. So I just kept seeing that heart connection. So even if they don't know they're doing it, their constant work with us, I think, is a type of ritual, because there's a very specific way that they have to deal with us or else they cause harm.
Yeah.
So their interactions here are ritualistic.
Yeah, and I just got that it was, you know, I don't think that they have beads, and I don't think that they have, you know, fire ceremony or thing. It's more of a quiet is what I'm getting. And again, I'm gonna focus on this and do a little meditation on it, get quiet with it, before I talk to Gail, before I tell her what she's
Don't tell her ahead of time. Like, let it be a surprise. Like, just spring it on her.
Oh yeah, spring it on her. Already knows. She goes, they're talking about me.
She's probably tuning in right now. But there's also something a little physical about it. They do crop circles. That seems ritualistic.
When they do crop circles, I forgot, you know, I gotta pull. So I have a deck that actually has a suit of crop circles.
Really?
Yeah, the contact cards, ET contact cards. I haven't pulled them out in a while. But when they do crop circles, and again, this is something that I gotta get into, drop into energetically. But if you have thought about it, do they do it like humans would do it, or is it just is it an energy drop for them, or is it like, oh, I want to put it here, here, here? I think it feels to me like it's an energy drop. And
You want to know what I got?
yeah,
It depends on how advanced they are, how tedious they want their ritual to be. Because of course I feel that energy drop like a stamp, like boom,
yep.
boom. But then I got like this really weird vision of like a Buddhist alien with long hair, and he's like braiding the crops because he wants it to be very long and tedious. He has a lot to learn and to connect into. I had a whole visual. It's sorry.
Yes, you did. Buddhist alien.
Long hair, probably braided.
Braided.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, that's gonna be we're gonna have to revisit that, because that, to me, I mean, I'm just getting excited. I'm going, that's fun. I want to drop into that energy of ETs dropping crop circles. I know they're still going on. I just haven't heard about
Mhm. I haven't in a long time either. It seems like that's how they first started getting in touch with us back before we could see them. So it's almost like that was back when we were still in that first
it.
medicine wheel era.
Yeah. And it feels so similar to the ET sightings, the spaceship sightings on the East Coast, because when the crop circles came out, then everybody started doing it. Well, a lot of people started doing them. And so you're going, is it real or is it Memorex? And you really couldn't tell. And I have a whole theory on that. Does it really matter if you have to walk a crop circle and you're getting energy from it?
Mhm.
It's probably still good energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. I want to leave it there.
Okay.
I want to leave it there because we can keep talking for a long time on this stuff. But thank you so much for joining in and talking about rituals. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. I think you'd be remiss if you didn't ask me what my inspiration to prosper was.
Yeah, well.
You're remiss. Bye, guys.
No, 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 no. What? Oh gosh. Now I'm like, what kind of host are you? I'm not a very good one,
A
obviously.
terrible one, an emotionally shut down one.
Boom. What? So, what is your young emotional? What did you ask me?
What are you
What is your
inspiration to prosper? Where did you get young
emotional
and emotional
inspiration
from?
to prosper?
Yes.
What is that?
Okay, let me think about it.
Oh
I'm pontificating.
God.
I feel like there's like 3 things coming up, which we really kind of touched on throughout the last few minutes anyways. If you think of the inspiration to prosper and how I feel prospering feels, because for me, it's more of an emotion than a thought. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
good today. I feel like everything's in order. I feel in alignment today. That's prospering to me.
Right.
And the 3 things that I feel like bring me there are my desire to create. If you know me, I love to create, not by little hand projects like our Buddhist alien, but by like jobs, work. I like to create. I like to have offerings and services, and these are the things I like to do. I have a desire to create that inspires me. I also have a desire to love. Everything I do and all of my healing work is from that heart space, and I desire to nurture people and put them under my umbrella. And I really love Mother Mary if we're talking Catholicism. She's my lady, like the desire to love is there. And then also the desire for connection. which you brought up a couple of times, I think, especially with your web of
Mhm.
everything. Your desire, my desire for connection is always there, but I feel the connection almost as a receptivity of love, because everything you put out, you also receive. So even though I'm inspired to love others through connection, I also receive that love in return, not because people are giving to me, but because there's a receptivity in me to
Yeah,
the love that's there.
yeah.
So that's
Ec-
my inspiration to
ec-
prosper.
Excellent. I'm going to steal some of that. There's a lot to be said with that receptivity,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times it's like, I don't need that. I don't know. I don't need it. No, I'm good. I'm good. And really, you should take it, receive it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because it's always there. It's not about having to give and then receive. It's not a handshake. It's just
Right.
always there. It's your openness to allowing
Open,
it.
let it come in. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. Again, thank you, Mary. Thank you. This has been awesome. All right,
I love
everybody.
being here. I'll have to come back. I'll knock on your door sometime soon.
All right. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Peace and love.
Bye.